Hey guys, NCS Fan 001 here, welcoming you to another one of those weekly trophy list update videos. Today's date is Monday, July 6th, 2020, so we're finally entering the back half of the year of Jumanji. Anyway, this will have covered the week of May 30th through July 5th. So this was a relatively productive week overall. Not my most productive out there, but definitely at least somewhat productive. So I'm still doing my login to GTA 5 once a month to make sure I get the $1 million extra, because that'll help me out in the future. I'm pretty close, actually, to buying and selling enough armored Kurumas to have the spend $8 million on heist equipment. So that's good. I'll get that one done soon enough. I'll probably be doing the heist sometime a little bit later this year, because I still have 3 of them left. And it's not really, like, too difficult, especially if you have a good team. You just have to keep a team with you the whole time. But I want to talk about Destiny 2. I've been talking to some people and reading some stuff online, and supposedly 4 of the planets are gonna go away in like August or September, whenever the next thing starts up. So I think it might be after the season of arrivals, which is like another 70 days. But if that's true, then that means that the Destination's Triumph seal will become unobtainable. Now, that's really stupid, if you ask me. Like, this is content that we paid for. If you don't forget, Curse of Osiris, Warmind are both paid DLC. We had to pay for them, and now you're going to take them away and replace them probably with something else we have to pay for? How the heck does that work? Is that even, like, allowed? And that's just really stupid if it's going to stop me from getting the Destination's Triumph, because I'm pretty close to getting the Curse of Osiris stuff done. Like, the only things I have left, I have 1 prophecy left, and I'm almost done with it. So, I mean, I could probably finish Curse of Osiris stuff. It's more Warmind that's a problem, because it's all related to Escalation Protocol, pretty much. Because I even got the item that's unique to one of the strikes. It's the last one like that I needed. Everything else is from rank up packages, Escalation Protocol, and maybe like a quest on Warmind. So I don't know how that's going to work, and I'm not happy that they're going to be doing that, because that really doesn't make sense, because I'm pretty sure that that's taking away content that players paid for, because that was not free like the game kind of is now. So that's just really kind of screwed up, and I hope that maybe they would make it so you can now purchase the items that you need just with legendary shards or whatever. I'd be fine with that, because that would make it very easy. It would make it much easier. Plus, they're getting rid of Titan, I think. Which, isn't that going to screw up a bunch of stuff for the main game? Like, to have Titan be gone? Like, isn't that just going to screw up a bunch of stuff in the main game and, like, the story and stuff? So, like, what is going to happen with the trophy list? Because just everything is, like, different now. It's all just changed so much, because I'm not even sure if you level up anymore. Did you actually have to finish... Did you actually have to finish the game? Huh. I thought you had to finish the game. Did you not? Yeah, maybe you didn't. Okay. Well, that makes more sense then if you didn't actually have to finish the game. But regardless, yeah, it's just really kind of weird that they'd be doing that. And, I mean, I assume that they wouldn't take out the raid, right? Like, there's no way they would take out the raid, would they? I can't imagine they would do that. That wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. Although I probably should go ahead and do that at some point and find a group for it, because I can't imagine it's that difficult if you have, like, a really high-level team or something. Because I'm right at around 1,000 power level, a little bit above it, and people can get higher than that. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that, because I don't really know exactly how that's going to work out. So, as for actual trophies earned this week, they were in 4 different games. The first one, Minecraft PS4, is now 100% complete, most likely forever, with the Cover Me in Debris trophy. For this trophy, I think you already have to have diamond armor, and then you have to go into the nether and mine netherite, which is like as rare as diamond or rarer. So it's really annoying unless you're like me and go the smart route of finding someone who's nice enough to help you out. And the guy that helped me out, he said to mention his name here. I don't always mention people's names because I don't know if they want to get like a potential flurry of people asking for help, but it's Titan God Gaming. He's on my friends list. He helped me out with this, and he said he would help out other people, so do note that if you want to get this trophy done quickly. Because the other 3 trophies are pretty easy. The bullseye is really easy. The Distract a Piglin is really easy. Like, those two are very, very easy. And then this one, I'm still surprised that this one's as common as it is, because it gave me more trouble than I thought it would. I think it just depends a little bit on luck as to what your nether ends up looking like in the new update. But this DLC isn't too bad as long as you have an easy way to get through this trophy. With that, Minecraft is now 100% complete. It should be 100% complete forever, because any future trophies, unless they want to release a final expansion 14 with only a single trophy in it, which I really don't see happening, unless they for some reason decided to do that, then Minecraft PS4 is now 100% complete. But I have no doubt in my mind that we will see another trophy list pop up, unless they were to decide not to add anything else to this version of the game until, or at all, because the PS5 version will be inevitable and might be able to have more than 128 trophies per list. So we can look back through the whole list now, because it's been so long in coming to get this far on it. So you have a bunch of very, very easy trophies. Like, anyone who's played Minecraft, none of these are going to give you any trouble. The cake is a little bit more complicated because it's a little bit harder to make now than it used to be, but it's not exactly difficult. More simple trophies. This is the first trophy that might cause people trouble because it takes time to build enough rail line to do this. It's not that difficult, but it does take time to mine enough iron and gold to make the rail line. Then you have easy trophies. Leather's not a problem. This one's kind of a little bit tricky. I'd suggest just getting your pig in like a 2x2 area and dig out the ground all beneath you. That's the easiest way to do it. Then befriend wolves. I think you can do this in separate worlds. This one's pretty easy. That one's easy. That one's easy. That one's pretty much required and easy. This one's a little bit tougher. I'd suggest you trap your skeleton inside of like a little hut almost, so that he can't get out, and then, you know, leave a hole open in front of it and then just shoot him from further away. That's the best way to do it. Diamonds isn't a problem. Gas with a fireball. This one is like hit or miss. Like, some people have an easy time with it like I did. Some people have more trouble with it. The blaze rod is pretty easy. Brew any potion isn't a problem. Enter the end portal and kill the end dragon. That's not particularly difficult. Plus, you can do this more easily if you just jump into someone else's portal that's already done it. The enchantment table is pretty easy. This one, I think there's a specific way you have to do it, like with a specific enchantment or something. This one's easy. This one's basically unmissable. This one's easy. This one, I think this is the only multiplayer trophy in the base game. It just requires a second player. It can be either a second controller or another actual person online. Nothing difficult there. That one's easy. This one's pretty time consuming. You can potentially get every other trophy before you get this one, because this is something like 33 hours, I believe, like 33.3 hours or something, so of actual real-life time. Now, you can do it on peaceful and just stand there and let the clock count, but that's still kind of annoying that you have to do it that way. That one's easy. This one isn't too hard compared to one of the DLC trophies. This one's easy, this one's easy, this one's easy, this one's easy. This one requires a little bit more effort to get all the dyes and stuff, but it's not too bad. This one, I can't remember how you make the fire resistance effect, but I don't think it's that hard. This one's easy, this one's easy. This one, you have to get lucky enough to find a music disc, and I think you get them in the dungeons, like within the caves and stuff. It's not terrible, but you do have to find one. Iron Golem, Iron Armor, those aren't difficult. The Zombie Villager Cure is a little bit tougher as well, because you have to find a zombie villager, and you have to have... I think you need both a potion and a golden apple to do it. And then the Ocelot one I don't think is that hard. They're just a little bit tougher to tame than wolves. So the base game really isn't that hard of a platinum. So then we have Expansion Pack 1, which is the Wither Pack. You have to spawn and kill the Wither, as well as create a fully powered beacon, which requires a ridiculous amount of materials. The Notch Apple also requires a large amount of materials, because I think that's the one that requires 9 or 8 golden blocks, not golden ingots, actual blocks. That one's easy and that one's easy, but the other 4 can take a bit of time and effort. The Wither isn't horribly difficult to kill as long as you're prepared. You can still do everything on the easy difficulty, which is good. Expansion 2 is a multiplayer DLC. You can boost this. I don't know what it means by additions, though. I'm not entirely sure what they mean by that, but you can boost all of this with other players. Then number 3 is the Respawn the Ender Dragon pack, which has 2 for the End Dragon, the Elytra, which you can do in the tutorial world, because you can do most of the trophies like through the 10th DLC in the original version of the game where it's easier. And then this one's pretty easy. You just need to find a sponge in in a temple underwater. That's all you really need to do. It's not too bad. Expansion 4, this was a miscellaneous one. This one, stay underwater. That one's not too difficult. You just need to brew a specific potion. This one's easy. This one's easy. This one's not too hard. You just need to get the splash potion and find a witch, which isn't too bad. This one's pretty easy because you can literally just build straight up, like 128 blocks, and then throw it down. This one gives some people trouble because it's kind of like weird, kind of buggy, depending on like which version you're playing on. I think it's actually easier on the PS3 version. I think I did this one in someone else's world. And then this one's not too hard as long as you can find a mob head. I don't really remember exactly where you find them because I did this so long ago. Expansion 5 is the other multiplayer DLC. Again, it's all boostable. Expansion 6 is the... Well, I don't know what I'd call this one aside from painful. I remember this one. This is probably the worst one in the game. You have to defeat an Elder Guardian, which isn't terribly difficult, but isn't fun. You got this little prick trophy right here. Levitate up 50 blocks from the attack of a shulker. That's probably the single hardest trophy in the entire game. Because first it requires you to find an end city, which is a problem enough. And then you have to get lucky enough to levitate up 50 blocks. That one was not fun. Dire Bed, a different color, that's really easy. The Totem of Undying is easy as long as you can find one. Same with defeating an Evoker. Those aren't really too difficult as long as you have a map that has the big area where they're at. The Frostwalker, this one's annoying because it's not a common enchantment unless they changed it and made it easier. And then the Caravan of 5 Llamas is a pretty time-consuming one. It's not terribly difficult, but it takes some time. Expansion 7, this was the aquatic update. This one is very easy. You can do all of it in the tutorial world with like no problems. I really wouldn't worry about this one at all. It's pretty quick and easy. Expansion 8 is another miscellaneous one. I guess you could say it was the Panda update and more. The Riptide, I think you have to like enchant a trident to do that. Collect any fish, that's super easy. Discover a shipwreck is super easy. That one's pretty much unmissable now if you're starting a new world. They're pretty common. Tower out of scaffolding is easy as long as you have bamboo. Same with breeding 2 pandas. The problem was when this expansion came out, the bamboo forest biomes didn't actually exist. So you just had to wander across bamboos and panda at the time, which is really dumb. Like, it didn't exist at the time. Now it does, so it's pretty easy now. And then receive a gift from a tamed cat. That's not too difficult. You just have to tame one, which is a little more annoying than it should be, but it's not too bad. Expansion 9, this is another one full of miscellaneous crap that isn't fun. You have the Underwater Ruin, that one's pretty much unmissable, but you have to name a shulker box, which means you have to get a shulker box in the first place. Crafting a banner is not too difficult. Befriending 20 stray cats, that's a nice time-consuming grind. I highly recommend using the creative exploit to get lots of cat egg spawns and dig like a hole in the ground where they can all just run around but can't really move too much. Sailing the seven seas, this one used to be glitched out back when the game came out, but it works now, so it shouldn't give you much of a problem. Expansion 10, this was the Pillager update. This one's very easy. There's nothing really to worry about with this one, especially if you use the creative exploit, but it's pretty easy. It's mostly just killing different enemies in a Pillager raid. Nothing too difficult there. Expansion 11, this was the Bedrock update. The official Bedrock update, and this one, the first 3 trophies are very easy. Those are actually the first 5 trophies are very easy, plus you can do some of them by importing a tutorial world from the original version of the game. But then you have these 3 trophies. The buried treasure isn't too bad because as long as it spawns properly. But this one, you're not going to get this one without the creative exploit. It's just too time consuming to do otherwise. You're going to need the creative exploit. And then this one is terrible because when you obtain the map, you never know where that place is going to be, and the worlds are infinite in Bedrock, or basically infinite, so you can be wandering around the world for hours, even if you're on peaceful, it's still terrible. Not a fun experience. Update 12 is the bee update. This update is pretty easy. You have 3 related to honey and bees, which are not really difficult at all. as well as Suspicious Stew, which is another multiplayer trophy, so you do need another player for this, either another controller or another online player. But yeah, this DLC isn't too bad. And then finally, the last DLC, the Nether update. That's basically it. So all 127 trophies earned. I'm very proud to have Minecraft done. Not too many people have done it to 100%. It takes a lot of time, quite a bit of effort, even if you're using other people's worlds for stuff. But I am very glad to have that done. Have it finally not have to worry about it anymore. Next up, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I streamed the live platinum of this game. So the trophies I was missing, I had not yet defeated 100 robots as Sandy or Patrick. I recommend for Patrick going to Goo Lagoon's pier and just killing the respawning robots right at the beginning of the pier, because there's a duplication-atron that'll spawn 2 or 3 of them. Easily get in a couple minutes. For Sandy, you can do the same thing, but you're going to want to do it in the central area of Sand Mountain. It is very easy to do right there because there are plenty of respawning robots with the duplication-atron. If you don't get these 2 trophies naturally, which a lot of people do, but not everyone does. Otherwise, what did I not yet have done? I had not finished the Dutchman's Graveyard. I had to finish like 2 more spatulas. The ship was a little bit complicated because I don't remember it very well from the original version. The Flying Dutchman boss fight is really, really easy. Like, all 3 of the mini-bosses are really, really easy. And the game itself is easier. I talked about that on the live stream. Oh, and find all 100 golden spatulas, including all 80 of Patrick's socks, and 100% completion down here. The game is a lot easier than it was on the original version. Sure, some of the glitches and stuff that allow you to speedrun the game aren't there anymore, but they compensate by making a lot of stuff easier, especially the boss fights, the main boss fights, especially the final boss. Because the final boss is a joke now, because you get more time to dodge his attacks. Roboplankton is maybe like a tenth as aggressive as he used to be, and he doesn't even dodge your shots. So it's like actually really, really easy. They definitely made it easier than I would have expected it to be. There's only a handful of difficult socks in the game. The vast, vast majority of them are very easy to find with just a little bit of extra searching. The only thing that was really made harder in this game was Mr. Krabs. Because with Mr. Krabs, you have to pay a lot more shiny objects. You need a total of 108,000 to purchase all of his spatulas. So that is a lot more, so you are going to have to grind shiny objects more in this game than you did in the original. But do keep that in mind, but otherwise it's a very easy platinum. And I mean, grinding shiny objects still isn't difficult, it just takes more time, it takes a couple extra hours of time. Now, the multiplayer mode in this game, I actually played it on the stream as well with 2 controllers. And I really wish it had had trophies to it, even if it was like a DLC or something, because it's easy, that's the thing, is because it's very easy. It would probably be a little bit boring if you had to keep replaying it over and over, but it's very easy to beat, so I wouldn't have minded having DLC trophies for it, because it's really not difficult. And it's an okay mode, but it's where they sort of dumped the forgotten concepts from the original game instead of incorporating them into the main game like people wanted. Like Patrick's Dream is just some of the platforms, the extra phase of the SpongeBob boss fight, this Robo SpongeBob boss fight, is a platform. Robo Squidward is in it, but he's not actually a boss, he just spawns the waves of enemies. So they definitely could have done more with some of that content. But I mean, it was a fun game, it was an extremely nostalgic, fun experience. It was platinum number 450. I absolutely loved playing through this game again. I loved getting to stream the whole thing. Fantastic game, would definitely recommend either renting it or waiting to buy it when it goes down in price a little bit. Moving on. Star Wars Battlefront 2. We made some more progress here, or I did. I completed 4 more story missions. Some of these missions are very short and easy. The others are a little bit longer, but overall it's quite easy. You can do everything on the easy difficulty. Then these trophies here, these 5 trophies, are all story-related trophies for finishing the game, so I just got to sit down and finish the rest of the game. I got one of the miscellaneous trophies here. You do this one in the Storm mission. That's the easiest place to get it. This one I still need to go back for 5 enemies with a single barrage. I think there's a good place to do it on the Endor chapter, and I haven't gotten to this chapter yet, so I will probably get it done there, but I just haven't gotten there yet. That's chapter 10, so I'm a couple chapters from that. And then for the multiplayer, I reached rank 25. I'm actually currently rank 30, and I've finished all the multiplayer trophies with the exception of rank 50, which is great. Otherwise, I finished the 150 kills with the Heavy Sentry. This is very, very easy. It's a bit of a grind, but it's not difficult at all. Just takes a few co-op games. Then the 50 enemies with the dual proton torpedoes. This one gave me more trouble than I expected it to, just because a lot of the time I was getting kills stolen, or the dual proton torpedoes did just barely too little damage. But it's still not too difficult. I mean, it's definitely easier than this little trophy right here that I've already talked about. And then otherwise, I did the 50 kills in Heroes vs. Villains. You just need 50 kills, that's all. This trophy used to be a lot harder, but it's very easy now. A few rounds of Heroes vs. Villains and you're good to go. And finally, 500 enemies as any hero on any multiplayer map. Just do this in co-op and you're good to go. It doesn't matter which hero you pick. I've gotten pretty good as Bosk and Chewbacca for some reason compared to some of the lightsaber heroes, at least for co-op. But it's not very difficult, so all I've got left in this game is ranking up 20 more times, which I'm going to focus on doing on Wednesdays and weekends, mainly Wednesdays more than anything, because that's triple XP versus just double XP on weekends, but I'll still use both of them. And then just finishing the campaign and grabbing a couple miscellaneous trophies, as well as the Resurrection DLC, which is just 3 more story missions. Nothing difficult there, all the hard stuff is out of the way, now it's just a bit of a grind, but we will get there probably within another month from now. Hopefully, we'll have to see. Depends on if they continue doing double and triple XP like forever. I don't know if it'll go on forever. And finally, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Finally getting the chance to play this game. I've had it for like a couple weeks on Gamefly, but just haven't had time to start it yet. This game's pretty awesome, gotta say. It's a pretty awesome experience so far. But the Platinum Trophy is also quite easy, which is a good thing, because you can do it on the easier difficulties. No difficulty-related trophies and no DLC trophies, because they've released all the DLC for the game, and none of it had any trophies, which is really good. So I like this game even more because of that. It's kind of a mix between Uncharted and Dark Souls, without the level of difficulty of Dark Souls unless you pick a high level of difficulty. So I don't know what this trophy is, but then collect all the chests and secrets. That's a collectible trophy. I don't know what these are yet, because I'm very early in the game. I've only played for a couple hours so far. I'm still on the first, like, actual planet that you get to explore, where it's like, what's it called? It's the one that starts with a B. All Jedi skills is just a level up trophy. All of the holo maps, I think, is probably going to be done while getting all the collectibles. And that one is a story-related trophy. I believe a lot of these are story-related trophies, although maybe not all of them. This one's pretty tough to miss. This one's pretty easy. I don't know when we get the kick ability, but it's probably not too difficult. You can probably do it on a low-level enemy. This one's probably not too hard. I'm sure there's certain places you can get it. This one's probably not bad. This one's probably pretty easy. That one's probably pretty easy. This one, I don't really know what precision evading is, but I'm sure it's not terrible. I'm sure once we get like a force push or something, this should be easy. And this one, I'm not entirely sure what it is. This one's probably pretty easy. What's this trophy? Oh, hit a single enemy with all lightsaber types. Well, it looks like a lot of people have it, but I'm not sure what you have to do. This one, I think I've fought a couple of the Ogdos because they're on that first planet. I'm not sure exactly how you get this. I'm assuming you have to cut the tongue off. Maybe it just requires a very specific timing to the attack. Then you have to find all the stim canister. I assume those are stim canister upgrades. The terrarium is the one collectible type you want to go for while beating the game because there's 10 of them and they take a long time to grow. So I suggest going for this one while you're playing through the game. Otherwise, leave the rest of the collectibles for later because you won't have all the abilities yet. More collectible-based stuff, fully customizable lightsaber, that's pretty easy. More customization. Scan all the enemy types, that's another one you're supposed to go for. Just scan every enemy that you kill and you'll have most of them done by the end of the game. The Force Echoes, I'm not sure how many there actually are in the game, but I've already found a few just by exploring. Not sure about the Bounty Hunters, but it looks like a lot of people have got it, so really enjoying the game so far. It's not too time-consuming of a platinum either, which is good. So, with that, level 75, 65%, 18,696 total trophies, 450 platinums, 2,617 golds, 4,905 silvers, 10,724 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week, I will continue my Star Wars work with both Battlefront 2 and Jedi Fallen Order. And that's really the only two major plans I have for this week of games to work on. I'm kind of pushing Battlefield 3 back purely because I think I'm going to be going on vacation with some friends, not during this week, but next week. So that's the current plan for that. So because of that, I figure it might just be better to wait and push that game back a little bit further until, you know, I can actually fully sit down for a week and do it. Because I believe everything I still need can be done with 4 people, because you need 4 people to start a lobby, which means I just need one other person that has 2 consoles and 2 copies of the game. And that'll make it go very quickly. That's what I'm going to look for on PSN profiles, or if anyone in the comments happens to have 2 copies of the game with 2 consoles, please let me know and we can boost basically everything. I think the only thing you can't do with 4 people is the squad wipe ribbon, which I believe I already have. But otherwise, you can boost all of it. It's not too difficult of a boost, but it's an extremely time-consuming one. It's going to be not quite the level of Far Cry 2, but it's definitely going to be a long boost with all the DLCs and the base game. I'm looking at more than probably 40 hours of boosting ahead, even though it's not really difficult. So I'm not looking forward to it. I'm just going to have to make sure I've got time to sit down and really work on it. So I don't think it's going to be too difficult overall. And then, of course, there's the co-op at some point. But once I get all that stuff done, you know, then I'm done with the old PS3 multiplayer games, which is really awesome to think of. Although I actually had a bit of an idea, and it's kind of a dumb idea, but I'm going to try it anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to contact whoever made Hasbro Family Game Night, like whoever published it and all, as well as Cabela's Big Game Hunter 2012, and see if they would consider just having an unpaid intern, because I'm sure they got those, or even just any sort of intern, be willing to change the trophy, the online trophy for each of those games. You know, the Hasbro Family Game Night could literally be just play any multiplayer game. It could just be changed to that, and it would probably take like a few minutes to change, and then everyone could get the platinum again. Even though the game is delisted from the PlayStation Store, anyone who's ever owned it can re-download it. And then for Cabela's Big Game Hunter 2012, you had to upload like 20 pictures to Facebook or something, which is really stupid. I think that they could just probably modify that to try to upload 20 pictures, or just change like a couple lines of coding in there so that it unlocks just by trying to upload the pictures. I don't know, like, I don't know if they would actually do that, or if I could even get a response from whoever made the games, but, you know, it might be worth a try just to see if maybe it would be possible and could actually, you know, finish those games. Well, I mean, I don't have Cabela's on my list, and I'd like to do all the Cabela's games, but I can't because of that. So it's okay. I mean, if I don't ever get to do it, that's fine. If no one ever changes anything, that's fine. But you never know. You might be able to get someone sympathetic that would do it for you. So otherwise, with streaming, I'm still running into issues. I still don't know what the issue is. I'm working with the Elgato people to see if it might be something with the capture card, even though I'm really not thinking that it's that, even though I'm still just, I don't even know anymore. I'm so confused. Because the streams just, I'm just annoyed at the whole situation that I can't get the streams working right, because I want them to be good, but if they're just going to start dropping frames and lagging and just messing up, it makes me not want to stream as much, just because I don't know where the issue's coming from. If I could figure out where the issue's coming from, I could get it fixed probably pretty quickly, but I can't figure out the problem. So hopefully maybe they can, I mean, at least we could either figure out that it's the capture card or rule the capture card out of the issue. Either way, it would be fine by me figuring it out. So in the future, streams may have to be done either in lower quality or on my old capture card for now until I can figure things out. But hopefully I can get stuff worked out eventually. So that is going to be it for this week, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you for more stuff this week.